Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and turn on that post notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post a new video. So in today's video, as y'all know, we just purchased our first house. We closed November 1st. So in today's video, I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit about our home buying experience and also how you can buy a house for $1,000, which is very, very, very possible. Also, this is for first-time home buyers only first-time home buyers. So if you're interested, then stay tuned. S to the C double O S A. Scoosa is the name, and I do this every day. So like, subscribe, turn on notification, cause I'm bringing the heat with no hesitation. The first step in buying a home buying process is you have to get pre-approved. So in order to get pre-approved, besides good credit, and right now because of the pandemic, I've seen some mortgage lenders wanting credit scores as low as 580 and up. So yeah, I think before it was like 620, but like I said, because of COVID, I've seen a lot of mortgage lenders accepting a 580 credit score. So besides good credit, they also want to see your W-2s and your tax returns for like the past year or two. They also want to see your check stubs and your bank statements for the past 2 months. I guess they just want to verify income, verify that you have a job. So to get pre-approved, you can just go online and Google pre-approval for a home buying, first-time home buyer, whatever. And you just give them all of that information and you'll start getting pre-approved. If all of that is good, I'll say, you'll start getting pre-approvals left and right. You'll have different lenders reaching out to you, approving you for this amount, approving you for that amount. Now, let me tell y'all, they will approve you for an amount that you cannot afford. So what helped us was going online. You can go online and type in mortgage calculator. And when you type in mortgage calculator, you can type in your down payment, you can type in your interest rate and how much the home that you want costs. And it would tell you how much your payments would be monthly. So let's say a $300,000 home will put your payments at like, let's say $1,700 if your interest rate is like 3%. Don't quote me on none of these. I'm just giving an estimate. If you know you can't afford $1,700, then you can't afford a $300,000 house if you can't afford $1,700 a month. So what you do is try to find a house that's like maybe $250,000. So let's say you found a $250,000 house that'll put your payments at like, let's say $1,400 a month. This is just estimates. Let's say they'll put your payments at $1,400 a month for a $250,000 house. So let's say you can afford that. Then you'll know that if $1,400 is your max, then you'll know that you don't need to look at another house unless it's $250,000 or less. So I want y'all to understand, different mortgage lenders will give you different rates and different down payments. So for a first-time home buyer, programs that you can find where you don't have to pay anything down, but there are also some programs that require you to pay at least, I think it's 3.5% down. So let's say you put 3.5% down on a $250,000 home and your payments are $1,400 a month. Like I said, if your max is $1,400 a month, then you're good. So that way, if you find something cheaper than $250,000, then you know that your mortgage will actually be even lower than that. Something too that you have to keep in mind is you have to have insurance. So you have to have some lenders require you to have mortgage insurance and home insurance, and some only have to have home insurance. So you need to look into that as well, because that's going to be added onto your mortgage as well. So if your mortgage is $1,400 and let's say your mortgage payment, well, both your insurances, mortgage and home, or mortgage or home, whichever, let's just say that's about $50 a month, then you're going to be paying $1,450. So just keep that in mind, that your insurance is also added onto your mortgage. So number one, in getting your house for $1,000, you want to get one of those programs where you don't have to put anything down. So when you don't have to put anything down, your mortgage lender will basically pay your down payment for you, so you're required to pay nothing out of pocket. So boom, back to the pre-approval process. So like I said, once you're trying to get your pre-approval and you finally realize, okay, I have this amount, at this interest rate, this is going to put my payments at this amount on a this amount home. So after you get in your head, okay, I can only afford a $300,000 home, then you can actually start the house hunt. So you can look on Zillow, you can look on just Google homes in whatever city and state that you're in. You can look on realtor.com. There's plenty of websites you can look at to find a home. Let me just say it like that. So you can start actually finding your home. If you're working with the realtor, which I would suggest, you can work with the realtor. Your realtor can also help you find homes. So what me and my realtor did was, whenever I would see a home in our budget, I would send her a picture of the home. She would also send me links to homes that she saw too that was within my budget that she thought that I would like. So you could tell your realtor, like, okay, I want a home with this, I want a home with that. I want a backyard. I don't want a patio. I want a screened-in porch. I don't want stairs. I want 2 stories. Whatever it is that you like, you should start looking for and sending you homes with those exact features that you want. So also, like I said, you can also see homes yourself and send them to your realtor as well. So you and your realtor, like I said, will be sending homes back and forth, and your realtor will be scheduling viewings of the home. So y'all, the home searching process is also a headache. So let me tell y'all, the very first time we went looking at houses, we had 3 on our list in 3 different neighborhoods. None of those houses that we looked at, y'all, we liked. So some of the homes, it was like you would like one room, but then the next room you wouldn't like. Like, it was one home that said it was 3 bed, 2 bathrooms, but one of the rooms that they considered a bedroom was actually a garage that they made a room. So it was literally 2 bedrooms and a garage. But so you got to be careful with that too. So you really won't know these things until you actually go and look at the house. So the other 2 houses we looked at, some of them just needed major renovations. Like, the pictures online will look one way, but once you actually go and see the home, they look a total different way. So yeah, the first time we went, it was a no-go. The second time we went, we actually saw 3 townhomes. This is when I started putting townhomes on my list. So we actually saw 3 townhomes. The very, very, very first townhome we saw, y'all, me and Adrian both fell in love with. It had, like, when you first walk in, to the right, it had like a nook type area. It was like a, what you call it, like a sunroom with a nook type area. It had a walk-in shower, and that's what I love, walk-in shower. It had a nice, big, beautiful kitchen. I mean, this townhome just had everything that me and Adrian both love. But the thing about it was, we saw the townhome, I think this was like a Thursday. That Saturday, the townhome was having an open house. So we didn't want to make a quick decision, especially with that townhome being the first townhome that we had looked at that day. So we was like, let's just sleep on it, and then we'll let my realtor know by Saturday if we wanted the townhome or not. Y'all, Saturday, me and Adrian made a decision Friday night that we were just going to go ahead and put an offer in on the townhome. Saturday came, y'all. As my realtor was submitting the offer, somebody had let her know that the house was under contract. So we didn't even get a chance to even get an offer for the house. So we were kind of, disturbed, upset. But, of course, we still had other townhomes that we had to look at. So, boom, that townhome that we both fell in love with was out the picture. The second townhome we looked at, which is actually the home that we bought now that we just purchased. Adrian both liked it, but we didn't really love it. But we both liked it. Adrian was like, it's all right. I liked it more than him. And I think I liked it more because of the kids. And like I said, the bathroom is Jack and Jill. Or Ryan could be in her room. Shy could be in his room. And the bathroom is in between their rooms. So that's what I really loved about it. Also, I love that it had hardwood flooring throughout the whole house. I also love the walk-in shower that was in the master bathroom. And also, our bedroom has 2 closets. So one closet is my closet and one closet is Adrian's closet. So that's another thing that I liked about the townhome that we got now. And the only thing I didn't like either was that we don't really have a backyard. But of course, we could put a fence back there if we wanted to. But at the time, we wasn't thinking about all that. We was just like, all right, I like this one, it's nice, but no, let's just see what else out there. So then we saw a third one that day too. The third one, Adrian liked, but I didn't really care for. I'm trying to remember exactly how that one looked. I can't remember, but I think Adrian liked it because I think it had 2 living rooms, if I'm not mistaken. Well, of course, we still looking, trying not to make any fast decisions. So this was the second time we looked at houses. So one day we was just chilling at the house, and my realtor hit me up, and she was like, "Hey, the agent from house so-and-so wants to know, how did y'all feel about the house?" So she was like, I let them know that y'all like the house, but y'all just didn't like the fact that it didn't have a backyard and y'all have, 2 kids. So she let the agent know that, and the agent was like, okay, cool, whatever. Just checking, just trying to see, how the search is going. So boom. We continued looking at houses, and there weren't really any more that me and Adrian both could agree on, or that we really liked, or that really wowed us. So I was like, okay, how about we just go and take a look at that second townhome again, because the agent is asking about it, so obviously the owner is really trying to sell it. So we went back, looked at the house again. I'm like, Adrian, you like it? And he was like, yeah, I like it. And I'm like, so why didn't you like it the first time? And he was like, it wasn't that I didn't like it the first time. He was like, but I think I was just stuck on the first house that we saw. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like the first townhome we saw, we both was wowed by it. So in our heads, this is the house that we want. So if nothing compares to this, then we don't like anything. You know how it be. Just put an offer in and just see what happened. So boom, we went ahead, put the offer in. The offer was when we started writing the contract. So in your contract, you put in everything that you want. So like we wanted the refrigerator, we wanted the microwave, all the appliances. We wanted the washer and the dryer, all the appliances basically. So we put in the contract that we wanted all of those appliances because we were, living in an apartment. We didn't have any because the apartment supplied everything. So we put in a contract that this is what we wanted. At the time, our seller was, I think, on a golf trip or something like that. But my seller had contacted the agent, and the agent was like, okay, the seller said that this sounds good, and he's going to sign the contract once he gets back from his golfing trip. So the thing was, and this is a crucial part of how to buy a house for $1,000. So we asked the seller to pay for closing costs. So the thing was too, we thought it was going to be hard trying to find a home when we were asking for closing costs. This was actually the first house that we actually put an offer in with, and the guy was willing to pay for closing costs. And this is what got us. So he got back from his golfing trip or whatever. And the day we went to sign the contract, I noticed on the contract paper that he tried to go up $3,500 on the house. And I'm guessing he was doing that because we were asking for closing costs. So it didn't discourage us because at the same time, the house has to be appraised. And if the house wasn't appraised for that extra $3,500, then he was going to be SOL. So then we had to come up with another contract because, like I said, the seller had went up on the price. So long story short, we ended up just going ahead signing for the extra $3,500 that the seller was asking for. I mean, he already paying for closing costs. It's like, why not? So let's just go ahead and sign for that and just see what happens when the house gets appraised. So once the house got appraised, it came back as what we originally signed for. So he didn't get that extra $3,500. So here's where the $1,000 that you're going to need comes in at. So when you're buying a home, you want to have earnest money for your the attorneys. They say it's basically money to just say that, hey, I'm serious about buying this home. I don't really know what earnest money for. We're just going to put it like that. But anyways, we had to pay the earnest money, which was $1,000 to the attorneys. The thing about the earnest money, too, is, let's say our closing costs would have been more than what our sellers was willing to pay. That $1,000 would have went towards the closing costs. Let's say the seller covered all of the closing costs. That $1,000 would have came back in our pocket. So essentially, you're kind of buying a house for free, for nothing. But we're just going to say $1,000, if y'all follow me. So we went ahead, we paid $1,000 to the attorneys for the earnest money. So at this point, everything gets surreal. So at this point, we're already under contract. Everybody's done signed. The attorneys got the earnest money. So now we just basically waiting to go into underwriting. So in the meantime, in between time, while we was waiting on the house to get appraised, we went ahead, we found our homeowners insurance. And when you find the homeowners insurance, just like when you find a mortgage lender, you want to find whoever got the best rates at the best price. Whoever got the best deal, that's who you want to go with. So we chose our mortgage company, and we also chose our homeowners insurance within the meantime. And a lot of people don't know that when you're first time homeowner, you can go and take money out of your 401k at no cost to you because it's to buy a house. So when you're in underwriting, this is, I think, the biggest headache, because when you're in underwriting, you get your closing date, and let's say your closing date is in 2 to 3 weeks. You have to get everything that's needed for the attorneys within those 2 to 3 weeks. And remind you, everybody has a job, and everybody is working, and everybody is taking vacation, and everybody is living their life. So the attorney could ask for something on a Friday. You have it right back to him that Friday night. He might not get back to you till Tuesday or Wednesday because he took an extra extended vacation. Just a headache. It's just a headache going back and forth, sending paperwork, sending this and sending that. So you also have to resend all of those documents that you sent before. So they're going to want to need your W-2s, your check stubs, your bank statements, and all of that. So I think they basically want to see your bank statements to make sure you're not like constantly overdrawing your account, nothing like that. Because besides from those documents, you also have to show documentation of any deposit, any big deposits. So I want to say big deposits of like $1,000 or more. So let's say you have a deposit of $1,000. They want to see where that money came from. So let's just say your mama owed you $1,000. They want to see that money in your mom's account. They want to see the money being taken out of your mama's account. Then they want to see that money being deposited into your account. They want to see the $1,000 in your mama's account, where it was sitting in her bank account at. They want to see where it was withdrawn from her account. they want to see where that same check number or whatever number it was being deposited into your account. Like, they get that in debt with whenever you buy a home, y'all. It's crazy. Everything is like, it's a rush. It's basically a rush because if you don't have everything you need, your closing will continuously get pushed back. Also, your appraisals and your inspections are a part of the underwriting process as well. So like I said, the house appraised for the $3,500 cheaper, which we originally signed for, than what the seller was asking for. So that was a blessing because, like I said, we did get the house at the original price that we was planning to pay anyways. And the seller also took care of our closing costs. So like I said, at the end of the day, we were pretty blessed with that. And we finally made the closing. So closing, like I said, was November 1st. The process took about, I want to say, 30 minutes. And that was just basically just signing a bunch of paperwork. Like, just literally signing a bunch of paperwork. And it's basically going over everything that you had already known throughout the whole process from you working with your realtor and your mortgage lender. But it was just basically confirming everything. And if anything was inaccurate, you had to fix that right then and there. Because once you sign them papers, then it is what it is. So long story short, yes, the process was a big headache for me because I was the one doing majority of the paperwork because Adrian was at work. So the process was a big headache for me. But essentially I learned you can definitely buy a house for $1,000. And at the end of the day, if your closing cost ends up being less than what the seller paid, then you can even get a check back from the seller. So like, let's say the closing cost was expected to be $6,000. Let's say your seller paid $7,000 in closing costs. You get that $1,000 back from the seller, and you also get your $1,000 back from the earnest money. So some people even end up with a check at the end. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, just go ahead, feel free, comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video, share this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.